Hi everyone, Brightbone here, back with another one. Today we're going to talk about an older technique called GPP passwords. So what is GPP password? So a long time ago, Microsoft needed a way to put passwords into group policies, right? They needed to be able to add a password to a group policy. And amazingly enough, they did it pretty well. They secured it using AES. Not bad. Typical, Microsoft passwords, a lot of them based on MD5, MD4 in some cases. But this one was AES. It was pretty secure until they suddenly decided that they needed to publish the password. So if we take a look here, you can see here is the AES private key. So what that allowed adversaries to do and hackers to do is decrypt these passwords that they found in group policy files, right? So you have some person in their infinite wisdom at Microsoft had to publish this. Now, I'm not sure why it was published. I had heard it was part of, trust investigations, things like that. So they probably had to publish it because they were forced to, but this opened the gateway for hackers. And if you have old GPOs lying around in your domain, this can be used as part of, a threat actor trying to gain access to your environment. So if we take a quick look at just the overall MITRE technique here, it's such a popular technique that it's got a MITRE entry, its own sub-entry here in unsecured credentials. But essentially, the adversary, pen tester, hacker can go through your group policies and find the CPassword file part, right? It'll say the word CPassword in XML. And then they can take that and decrypt that. So let's do that. Let's take a look at a vulnerable GPP. So quite simply, we're going to come over here to Clint, our normal target, but in this case, he's going to be the adversary. So we're going to run a simple command. We're just going to do find string. We're going to do the -s, the -i, and we're looking for CPassword. And then we're going to scan our sysvol for that. Now, inside our sysvol, we have policies in star.xml because group policies are stored in XML. So we're looking through the XML files for anything that has the word CPassword in it. So let's give that a shot. And oh, look, we found one. Cool. So we found a CPassword in here. We already know the AES key, so we can quite easily decrypt this. I'm just going to pop over here to PowerShell ICE, and this has our Get-DecryptedCpassword PS1 in here. We'll run this real quick. And then we're just going to go Get-DecryptedCpassword, and this is the same password that we saw over here. As you can see, same password. And then I have the username, local admin tenable, in here as well. So this looks like it's related to a tenable user. And then now I have the password. Password 1. Cool. I can move on with my pen test. I can use this. But wait a minute. I was just deceived. This is not real. This is a trap. And as I've said in other videos, when you know what an adversary's behavior will be, you can set a trap. And that's what we've done here. We've set a trap. Now, first things first, you can simply detect a user running around in your sysvol folder and searching for things, right? If we go over to our SIM here, we can see event code 5145 and just search sysvol, and we can see Clint Barton running around in sysvol, right? Not something you should see. If a user's picking around in sysvol, you can create a threshold rule that's like, hey, why are you picking around in sysvol, right? You shouldn't be going through the entirety of sysvol and finding things. So you can set early warning in your SIM that way. Or you can do my favorite tactic, which is the deception that we just did. If we come over here to our GPPDeception, This is a tool written by Red Siege, and this is a PowerShell script that creates a fake group policy with a fake C password. So really cool, right? Easy. We know the attacker's behavior. We know they're going to attempt this. So we can run this GPPDeception tool and create our own GPO. So here is our domain controller. We'll run this. So I just have this open in PowerShell IS over here. We'll run this. And then we're going to go evoke GPPDeception, just like that. And then it's going to ask us for plain text. This is the password that you want to create. So we would do piat sswrd1, something like that. Just a password that's easy enough that, or it could be really complex too here because they're decrypting it. So you could give them something that looks even more real, a really long password, right? And then you give them the username, give it something deceptive like local admin underscore name a product, right? Name a product that might have to log into a workstation in your environment. In this case, we'll do like, I don't know, a Terra, right? Who knows? Anything. And then what it does is it creates a groups.xml file, right? This is your XML. And you quite simply go paste it into this folder. Now, just realize this folder will not exist. This 4EDDF will not exist. You'll have to create from here on in your groups.xml. So I'll show you what this looks like. If we pop this open over here, we'll just go into our sysvol. And this is the domain controller. Actually, let me just do it the way that I don't have to authenticate to it. Let's go to hacklab.com, sysvol, hacklab.com. In here we have policies. And I have this one from earlier. And in here I have the groups, and this is my fake file. So you will have to create from fully qualified domain name on. So notice you'll need to create this folder, the word machine, preferences, groups, and then the groups XML, with this being the XML. But once you've done so, you have set your trap. It's a pretty easy deception overall on a technique that a lot of people are going to try. You're going to find many pen testers, many attackers are going to try for GPPPassword. This gives you two ways of detecting them. You can detect them at your SIM when you see a whole bunch of user doing a whole bunch of enumeration in your sysvol. That's pretty weird. But this way, you can give them something fake, slow them down, and then you can see when they're trying to use this account to authenticate, and you'll have them a better way. So that's basically it. Thanks everyone once again for watching the channel. I do have some upcoming SANS classes. There is going to be 2 more upcoming. Just check for Sec 599 on SANS website and you'll see the classes that I'm teaching. If you want to see me in person, teach you some of this stuff in person. But once again, thank you, and hack the planet to defend better.